Right now, a Sun Prairie shooting leaves one person dead, what we know so far. Also, the Badgers head to the Windy City for another Big Ten showdown. Could they get it done against the Wildcats? We'll have the highlights. And October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. In response, a local nonprofit hosted a resource fair. We'll take you there. Welcome to News 3 Now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jalen Banks. One person is dead and one is hospitalized after a shooting in Sun Prairie Friday night. According to the Sun Prairie Police Department, around 7 p.m., police responded to the intersection of Martin Street and Elm Street, following reports of gunshots made by neighbors. When officers arrived on the scene, they found two victims. One was pronounced dead at the scene. The other was taken to a local hospital for non-life-threatening injuries.
It's an active investigation. The victims are known to each other, and we continue to work both with our agency and assisting agencies like the Dane County Sheriff's Office.
The incident is currently under investigation. If you have any information, the department is asking for you to call 608-837-7336. Into the newsroom within the last hour, the Rock County Sheriff's Office sharing with News 3 that early Saturday morning, the department responded to the fairgrounds in Janesville around 10:30 for someone falling from, quote, a high place. No further details were shared. We will continue to keep you updated as we gather more information, both on air and online at channel3000.com. Now let's get a look at your first warn forecast with meteorologist Blaze Keller, who's out on the weather patio. Blaze, first off, how does it feel out there?
Does not feel bad out. You know, it's not as windy right now, at least, but maybe still an occasional breeze as we head throughout the rest of this evening. Clear to mostly clear conditions in Boaz at 72, Sullivan 62 degrees, 64 in Shullsburg, 72 in Fenimore. Keep in mind, we should only top out at this point in the year. Our highest should be 58 degrees, our high temperature. So we are well above average, and that continues into not only your Sunday, but Monday as well. We have to look to Tuesday first for our first chance for any meaningful rain, but unfortunately not everyone will see it, and we're looking at maybe a couple hundredths to a couple tenths of an inch of rain. Right now, the latest idea or kind of forecast for that rain to follow, searching from Baraboo north into Watoma, back into, say, the Manitowoc area, and then maybe a little patch of rain falling from La Crosse back north into Camp Douglas. So folks may not even see any rain south of the Dells, but this is just the one model's interpretation. Some models want to really keep that closer to the state line. All in all, not everyone is going to see rain Tuesday into Wednesday, and it is unfortunately not going to be a heavy rain maker. Tonight, no rain in the forecast. 50s with a few 40s popping up. Enjoy it, especially if you like the heat. We're tracking unseasonably warm temperatures in the extended forecast.
All right, Blaze, we'll see you then. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Local nonprofit Days hosted a resource fair today highlighting resources around the Madison area. Our Tanasia Shaw visited the fair and is reporting on the resources you can use or support.
Days has been serving the Dane County community for 47 years. We offer a wide variety of services from primary prevention through crisis intervention.
Days stands for Domestic Abuse Intervention Services. The nonprofit hosted a resource fair Saturday with music, and life-changing services.
Days is only one piece of the puzzle, but for so many victims and survivors of intimate partner violence, they're dealing with housing insecurity, economic insecurity, and so being able to connect all of those groups in one space today to kind of show that safety net of support.
Events like this are important because they get the word out. They help people know about the resources that are available to them. According to data, most people know a victim or survivor of abuse. 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men will experience physical or sexual assault at the hands of an intimate partner at some point in their lifetime. So far this year, in 2024, as of today, 75% of the homicides in the city of Madison have been domestic violence related. Days offers free and confidential year-round services for victims, being a safe haven and helping them become acclimated after abuse.
We have a 24-hour helpline, 24-hour text line. We also have support groups, case management services, legal advocacy services, children's programming, and then we operate the only homicide prevention shelter for Dane County.
Reporting in Madison, Tanasia Shaw, News 3 Now.
Tanasia, thank you. If you or someone you know is going through domestic abuse, Days has a 24/7 helpline. You can call the helpline at 608-251-4445. You can also text them at 608-420 4638. The last 4 games have been a roller coaster for Wisconsin football. After losing 2 in a row, they responded with back-to-back beatdown wins. Bucky took the bus ride down to Evansville, Illinois for them trying to get another win, making that 3 straight in Big Ten play. Our Andrew Bancher is in studio with more.
Yeah, Jalen, over the course of that 2-game winning streak, the Badgers have really begun to blossom. They're outscoring opponents 94-13 over their last 2 games, and that should come as no surprise, considering if you check the calendar, it is Locktober. Badgers up 14-3, and after running for one earlier, Braden Locke unleashes it to Tucker Ashcraft, and it is a Badger touchdown. Make it 3 straight wins for Wisconsin, and they win one that, according to Luke Fickell, just meant a little bit more. 23.
It was a great day. This was something we started at the beginning of the week that we really needed, and we needed to, I'd say, rectify. I mean, what happened last year. You know, it was one of those things that it stung, and you know, so this entire week was just, you know, a little bit of a different edge to what we needed to be able to do, and it was good. It was good for us because we needed to keep pushing.
And coming up in sports, we will give you the full highlights and break down, Jalen, why this one did just mean a little bit more.
All right, Andrew, we'll see you then. Coming up next on News 3 Now, a check of your forecast later in the show.
Under Kamala, there's been a big hike in Medicare premiums. Social Security benefits don't go far with Kamala's inflation slamming seniors. Now Kamala wants struggling seniors to pay more Social Security taxes, while she gives Medicare and Social Security to illegals. That will doom Medicare. President Trump will make sure no one cuts Medicare or Social Security. Trump lowered Medicare premiums, and he'll end the tax on Social Security.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Don't mind me. I'm just the flu. I'm quite harmless, really. And when people ask, but aren't you linked to dangerous flu complications like pneumonia, heart attack, and hospitalizations? I just say, but I'm just the flu.
It's him.
Who? I'm just the flu.
Demand more from your flu shot. Sanofi higher dose flu vaccines are proven to provide better flu protection than standard dose flu shots in older adults. They've even been shown to better protect against flu-related complications.
Don't get Fluzone high dose if you've had a severe allergic reaction to its components, including egg products, or after previous dose of flu vaccine. Don't get Flu Block if you've had a severe allergic reaction to its components. Tell your healthcare professional if you've had severe muscle weakness after a flu shot. Fainting has occurred. People with weakened immune systems may have a lower vaccine response.
All flu shots are not the same. Ask for a Sanofi higher dose flu vaccine. Talk to your pharmacist or doctor about Fluzone high dose or Flu Block.
You have a clear choice in this election. Senator Baldwin is a 38-year career politician. I'm a businessman and job creator. She supports taxpayer benefits for illegal immigrants. I'll close the border. Tammy wants to put guys and girls sports in their bathrooms. I'll protect our daughters. Senator Baldwin abuses the political system. I'll fight the corruption. I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message. I'd be honored to have your vote.
You are watching News 3 Now at 6.
The November presidential election is just over 2 weeks away, and recent polls shows the race remains tight. This weekend, the candidates are keeping their eyes on the prize in battleground states with campaign events in Michigan, Georgia, and Pennsylvania. CBS News correspondent Christian Benavides reports from Miami.
Hey, Detroit, are we ready?
Vice President Kamala Harris took the stage in Detroit as in-person early voting kicked off Saturday in the Motor City.
As we spend these next 17 days, we're going to go vote today. We're going to remind people to vote. We're going to register folks to vote.
More than 1 million Michiganders have already voted by mail in the November 5th election.
And we know, look, the race is tight. It's going to be hard work, but we like hard work.
Both Harris and former President Donald Trump raced the rhetoric Friday as they crisscrossed the state.
She's not a smart person. She's not a person that should represent our country.
Donald Trump, one of the biggest losers of manufacturing jobs in American history.
Leader Harris appears in Atlanta. Early voting is also underway in Georgia. Saturday evening, Trump is set to speak in battleground Pennsylvania. Sunday, Trump will rally in Westmoreland County. There, the former president is focusing on about 200,000 voters who could help him win Pennsylvania's crucial 19 electoral votes. Cristian Benavides, CBS News.
Elsewhere on the campaign trail, former President Barack Obama continues his efforts for Vice President Harris with a rally in Las Vegas. And coming up next, Blaze Keller returns with a complete look at your First One forecast.
Under Kamala, there's been a big hike in Medicare premiums. Social Security benefits don't go far with Kamala's inflation slamming seniors. Now Kamala wants struggling seniors to pay more Social Security taxes, while she gives Medicare and Social Security to illegals. That will doom Medicare. President Trump will make sure no one cuts Medicare or Social Security. Trump lowered Medicare premiums, and he'll end the tax on Social Security.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Insurance costs going up? Erie Insurance has great coverages, rates, and claim service. And your rates won't increase because of celebrity advertising campaigns or sports stadium sponsorships. Call Affordable Insurance Solutions for your auto, home, or business quote and see what Erie Insurance could do for you.
My late father-in-law lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had AMD. I didn't know it then, but it can progress to GA, an advanced form of the disease. His struggle with vision loss from AMD made me want to help you see warning signs of GA, like hazy or blurred vision, so it's hard to see fine details. Colors that appear dull or washed out. Or trouble with low light. That makes driving at night a real challenge. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
These Baldwin ads are nasty.
I can't stand them.
She never tells the truth. Now she says Eric Hovde wants to raise the retirement age.
That's malarkey.
I saw in the news Social Security will be going bankrupt in 8 years.
Are you kidding? We need Social Security.
You're surprised? Washington spends money like crazy.
And Baldwin supports all of it.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
You better get a job.
You get a job.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Donald Trump makes a lot of promises, but we can be sure of one thing. If he wins, he'll ignore all checks that rein in a president's power. It's all in Trump's Project 2025 agenda. What does that mean for you? Higher cost on groceries, cuts to Social Security and Medicare, more tax breaks for billionaires, and a national abortion ban putting women's health at risk. A second Trump term, more unhinged, unstable, and unchecked.
Let's get a look at your First One forecast with meteorologist Blaze Keller. Blaze.
And we continue to sit underneath not only a drier than average pattern, but a warmer than average temperature pattern here as we go into the start of November. We got about an 80% chance, if not a 90% chance, of seeing warmer than average temperatures from essentially North Dakota all the way into the Texas area. But that confidence up to about 70 to 80% of warmer than average temperatures, that extends here into the Wisconsin area, southern and really most of the state, sitting underneath that confidence of being warmer than average all the way through at least the 2nd of November. This is that time frame, the next 2 weeks. You see that red continuing to sit overhead. So we've had little tastes of fall, but we really have not transitioned into the fall season. Our temperatures, at least tomorrow and into your Monday, 20 to almost 30 degrees above where they should be for this time of year. Our forecast high of 80 and 79 on Monday, 80 on Sunday, anywhere between 22 to 23 degrees above average. Our average high temperature, 58 degrees for this time of year. We only get one below average day as we look ahead to the next 10 days, which is on Thursday, and that's only by a degree. So we continue to sit underneath these warmer than average temperature trends. The reason is because of where these high pressure systems are setting up. The current one is sitting to our south and east, which is why winds that go clockwise around its placement is transporting that warmer, more moist air across parts of the plains, and then that extends back into our neck of the woods. And we see this one getting replaced, but then another one essentially slides right in and reinforces that heat, which is why we stay warmer than average through the next 2 weeks. And we also stay drier than average because these high pressure systems also act like a weather bubble. They move air to the surface of the ground. So they take it from higher parts of the atmosphere and push it down, and that really inhibits any sort of shower or even thunderstorm or even cloud activity for that matter. But as we look to November, again, we continue to see the forecast trying to break down this pattern, trying to get these high pressure systems out of here and allow systems to move in off of the Pacific into parts of the United States instead of going into Canada. So we're going to keep our fingers crossed that that does actually happen as we go into November, because we continue to see drought conditions expanding across southern Wisconsin and across the state as a whole. Now over 60%, 64% actually, of Wisconsin is suffering from moderate drought conditions. And if we really can't scale those back before we go into next spring, it is going to be very hard for our area farmers. But we do see some rain chances, as I mentioned at the top of the show, Tuesday into Wednesday. And then Jalen and folks at home, if things kind of pan out the way that we got it in the forecast, we could see some showers return by that following weekend.
The fact that we're on the latter half of October.
Yeah.
And we're seeing temps,
in the
potential
80s.
temps in the 80s is wild.
It is. We might set a record, or at least tie the record for high temperatures in the Madison area on Sunday, tomorrow.
All right. That'll be, I guess, breaking news almost.
Yeah, hot day tomorrow.
All right. Well, sounds good. Thank you, Blaze. It's been almost a month since several people, including children, were hurt after a wagon tipped over at an apple orchard in Chippewa County, Wisconsin. And now, for the first time, one of the children hospitalized got to meet the first responders who treated him. Kim Ledholm was there when the reunion happened.
Seeing heroes at work. These kids are watching a simulation, but one Chippewa County boy needed the heroes in real life.
You always think that it's not going to be as big of a deal as it was coming through on the radio through dispatch. So, but we got there and it was everything, you know, and more that they said it was.
And now he's meeting them once again.
How you doing?
4 weeks ago, 25 people were hurt on a field trip to an apple orchard in the town of Lafayette.
Not knowing the extent of his injuries or if they were life-threatening was horribly scary.
Gabe Meyer was one of them.
Wait a second.
Being flown to a hospital.
We knew we didn't have the ability to take care of him and what he needed. And having somebody that was competent and was willing to take charge and help us really helped with the stress level of the situation.
Now, Gabe is back with those who helped him, picking out pumpkins
That thing's heavy.
and exploring.
Seeing a little boy being a little boy things could have been a lot worse than that.
In a reunion first responders don't often get.
A lot of times we don't get to follow up with our patients, even dropping them off at the hospital. So it was really exciting.
All the calls don't work out like that, and sometimes you have traumatic calls that don't end well, and the ones that do end well, you really have to focus on and realize that's why you're doing the job.
So on Sunday, with tons of celebrations around them for the first fall festival.
I just think he's a superhero because, I mean, he was so strong.
Everyone was able to meet their hero.
Gabe is going to school part-time now and is continuing to recover, but he still needs to take it slow. Our thoughts are certainly with Gabe during this time. Still ahead, a full breakdown of Bucky's big win over Northwestern next in sports.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Announcing the winners of Madison Magazine's Best of Madison Readers Poll for 2024. Congratulations to Buck and Honey's for winning 4 Best of Madison awards in food and drink, including Best Restaurant. See all the winners on MadisonMagazine.com.
When I was 5, I began getting sexually abused by my stepfather, and he got me pregnant when I was 12. 64,000 pregnancies from rape have occurred in states with total abortion bans. And Trump did this. Women and girls need to have choices. With Kamala Harris, we do.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
You're tuned in to Better Halves. Mike, what are you looking for?
Skip, I'm not getting older. I'm getting better. I still got big plans for my life and my Medicare.
I know exactly what you want from Medicare. Same as all the other guys. Me!
Hey, Mike, I'm Sheila from Security, and I'm just like you. In fact, I'm from your neighborhood, and I've got a Medicare plan that treats you like you.
Did it just get better in here?
Have you heard Eric Hovde?
I am totally opposed to abortion.
I am totally opposed to politicians telling women what we can do.
Extremists all over the country have passed abortion bans.
Criminal penalties for doctors.
No exceptions for rape or incest.
Women are dying just trying to get health care.
There are even restrictions in Wisconsin. This has to stop.
I am totally opposed to abortion.
We are totally opposed to Eric Hovde.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
When it comes to your critical medical decisions, you should have the final say. But extreme politician Joan Ballweg says you're wrong. She supports criminalizing abortion even after rape and incest. Or to save the life of the mother, Ballweg would jail doctors for giving life-saving care. And Ballweg even wrote the law that could deny women access to birth control. Joan Ballweg would put extreme politicians in charge of your body and put all Wisconsin women in danger.
Madison has a $22 million budget gap and a big ask for local voters. I'll have city officials break down the question you'll see on next month's ballot and the impact your vote could have. 3 for the People, Monday at 10.
When Wisconsin lost to Indiana late last season, it felt like rock bottom. But then Northwestern came into Madison and beat down the Badgers. This year, Wisconsin meets the Wildcats in a much different place, riding a 2-game win streak in which they've been truly brilliant. But they didn't forget about last season either. Badgers up 7-0 with less than 1 minute left in the first half, and here comes the pass rush. John Pius gets the sack and forces the fumble, and then Elijah Hills, he inhales it. A couple of transfers making a big impact. Badgers ball on the 3-yard line, and they would capitalize. Braden Locke pitches to Kate Yakimelli, who yo-yos to the outside, and you're not going to catch Yak. Wisconsin took a 14-0 lead into half, and then later, first play of the fourth quarter, now the Badgers up 21-3, and Sebastian Cheeks, he says checkmate. The Evansville native gets the safety, and Wisconsin wins it 23-3. They win their 3rd straight game, and as our Zach Hanley found out, they had to bring their own juice to get the job done.
There's always a weird vibe when you play at Northwestern, so the message to Wisconsin was simple this week. Bring your own juice. And the Badgers filled up their cups in all 3 phases to lead Luke Fickle's squad on to their 3rd straight win.
It was definitely a bring your own juice kind of week. We knew that going into it, you know, but like we said, we'll play these guys anywhere. You know, we said we play them in the parking lot if it came down to that. So really happy that we were able to come in here and get a win and do what we needed to do.
I feel like we're all clicking, man. I think it's showing, like we're all coming together and we're blocking out the media and not really hearing the noise, man. And we keeping this brotherhood and we going strong, man. We trying to keep going on a roll and we taking it week by week. We want to know every week.
You see it in all 3 phases. You see this complementary ball. You see this opportunistic team that happens when you have poise and when you have some confidence. And but this team, we're getting better. We know where we need to go. We know we're not there. But there's definitely a spirit.
This 3-game stretch is just let us catch our stride and let us just get things rolling and build confidence and then just play with confidence. And you know, when you can do that, when you play with confidence, it gets rid of a lot of things.
Touchdown. Now, during this stretch, the Badgers have outscored their opponents 117-16. And the best part of this win, a celebratory dip into Lake Michigan by strength coach Brady Collins, who jumped in as soon as the clock hit 0. At Northwestern Madison Field, Zach Hanley, News 3 Sports.
And elsewhere in college football, Platteville unfortunately is perfect no more. The 6th-ranked Pioneers lost their first game of the season up in Oshkosh today. They fall to 5-1 on the year. Wisconsin women's hockey went into and onto third-ranked Minnesota's home ice yesterday and beat them 5-0. Today, the Gophers got out to a 3-0 lead, but Bucky, they battled back. Unanswered. How about 3 unanswered goals? They tie it up, and then late, they wanted more. Caroline Harvey gets it in there. Casey O'Brien finishes off the job, and that is back-to-back road wins over the third-ranked team in the country. This one quite different from yesterday, but whatever it takes to get the job done. And that could be said about Wisconsin women's hockey. That could be said about Wisconsin football. Really just a good day for the Badgers today.
So we were watching that game earlier today when they went up 3-0.
Yeah.
And we were talking about how yesterday they won, you know, pretty handily. So to see them down 3-0, we were like, oh, man.
It's like, you know, they'll get one back, you know, one for one, but
we went back to work and then look up. And then they were up.
Yeah,
it's
unbelievable.
Like, whoa, what happened? But let's get to Braden Locke and the Badgers. Last 3 weeks, they have been absolutely rolling. I mean, it's been resembling what the NFC North have been doing to teams across the NFL.
A plus 101 point differential? I mean, that's pretty unbelievable in 3 games.
Yeah, I mean, that's got to be first in the country over the last 3 games.
You would think so.
They smoked Purdue.
Yep.
It's like, okay, Purdue, not the greatest team typically. Don't want to be disrespectful to Purdue. But then following game, rolled again. This game, rolling once again. Should we be expecting this out of Bucky moving forward?
Well, I think that it's a big step towards getting to where and who they want to be. Even maybe we can't say that they're who they want their finished product to look like, but these are the steps you have to take to be that kind of program. Beat the teams you're supposed to beat and do it handily, leave no question about it, which is what they've done. The real test will be homecoming this coming weekend in prime time, 6:30, number 3 Penn State, or whatever they're ranked at the time, probably 3, 4, whatever it might be. But that's going to be the big test. Can you beat the big dog now that you've got some steam? Luke Fickell's kind of got his swagger going, and so does the team. It's fun to watch.
When the defense is only giving up 1 score a game, Braden Locke and the offense is playing confident. Hard to stop them.
That's the thing, is that oftentimes we give all the praise to the offense because that's what's exciting, and that's probably our faults. But the defense, let's not forget about them. That's pretty unreal.
All right, well, sounds good. Thank you, Andrew. Let's get a check of our forecast before we head on out.
Yeah, not a whole lot to talk about. It's quiet, and we're going to really continue to remain quiet, breezy, warm, and dry here over the next couple of days. So hold off on any burning, especially Sunday and Monday. We just had that southwesterly wind. We could be into the low 80s on Sunday. Warmest temperature for October 20th in Madison was 82 degrees. So we're going to be getting close there as we end the weekend.
All right, well, sounds good. Thank you, Blaze, and thank you, Andrew. And thank you all for joining us. We'll see you back here at 10 o'clock.